Test, test, test. Alright. Seems like the mic works.
Hello.
Let's hammer out Act 3. Maybe Act 4. So last night we left off on... We had just gotten the eye. So let's head up to the Great Marsh. And then the Flare Jungle. Wait a minute. Great Marsh is up here. I think running from town will be quicker. Let's do this. I need a better bow for my mercenary. It works for now, but ideally a little more damage would be nice. So far I don't see any gloams, so that's good. Sometimes the Great Marsh has gloams. Let's repair our weapon, grab some potions. Do I have anything to sell? I guess. What's this? Oh, okay. Ideally, before we go to the Chaos Sanctuary, it'd be nice to get to cube up to an Ort rune and make an Ancient's Pledge in this shield I have. That way Diablo's like kind of a joke. Another wishlist item would be an Amn rune from the Hellforge. So I could make strength. That would be huge for the crushing blow. now speak to orders. Is the in-game sound too loud? It doesn't seem to be, but maybe it is. Oh, there's the gloams. Jinxed it. Oh God! Oh, that was close. I was down to like 14 health. All right. Well.
Yes.
That was spicy. That was spicy.
Yes.
I think I might want to make that shield sooner rather than later, just for safety purposes.
Hello.
I just don't want to take the time grinding for it, though. That's the problem. I need 2 more RAL runes, essentially. So I've got 2 RALs and a Tau. Alright, let's do 1. Let's do 1 Countess run. I'm not going to get any experience, so there's no point in killing stuff. The return on investment is just way too low. We could get lucky and get 2 RAL runes like we did last run. But odds are pretty terrible if that happens again. F. Let's do 1 more, I guess. So I've got 2 F runes. I could make a stealth to make this quicker. That could be a decent play. Would be godly, like early game faster run walk would be like Zephyr, Stealth, and like Sanders boots. That'd give you like 90% faster run walk. Ith rune again. Yeah, see, I don't know if this is worth farming. Because now I can keep up to an Ith rune, which is a third of a Tal, which is a third of a Ral, which is a third of an Ort. So I need 3 Eths to make an Ith, 9 Eths to make a Tal, and 27 Eths to make a Ral, and 81 Eths to make an Ort. So realistically, Tal and Ral are the only runes that would be beneficial to my little side quest here. Tal is 1/9 of an Ort, and Ral is 1/3. So I have 2 Rals and a Tal. So I'm like 7/9 the way there. But then I'd need a Ral and a Tal again for the rest of the rune word, so. Oh, there's a Tal. So now I'm 8/9 the way to an Ort. So if I get either a Tal or a Ral, I'll have an Ort. So still the ideal scenario is 2 Ral runes at the same time, like the second run I did. That would allow me to make the entire rune order with some runes still left over. Okay. Ral and Tal and Neff. That's huge. That's huge. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. So I can make an Ort and a Ral. And I just need a Tal. So I might as well just do this last run and see what happens. I'd say odds are decent that I'm done after this run. I'll be able to make the rune word. And we've been streaming for 19 minutes. And I was AFK for the first 5 or so. So yeah, like 15 minutes or less to get the rune word. I'll take it. Because we also went to Black Marsh and found those gloams, which inspired me getting this rune word earlier. I think I'm gonna. Why thorns? That's a great question. Running thorns until fanaticism. Thorns has a better return on investment over might for most of the playthrough. For example, Indariel and Duriel killed themselves on thorns. So the thought process is, through normal mode, we'll use thorns until we can get fanaticism. Respec, go fanaticism, and then by then there should be enough runes that we'll be able to make something with Crushing Blow for act bosses, such as Strength or Black. The fire tick. Yeah, Holy Fire. I agree. But yeah. Holy Fire would be better. The point of my challenge is to use my shield though, as much as possible. And like be meleeing. Not walking around and having my AoE kill everything. I guess the Thorns is technically a loophole, but not as big of a loophole as Holy Fire. But to your point, Holy Fire would 100% be the most efficient way to get through normal mode on this challenge for sure. There's no doubt about that. 100% the best Paladin spec for normal mode. Yo, Wereduck, what's up, dude? And Shushlik, thanks for coming in. I just created my Twitch account not too long ago, but I'm a YouTuber. I create Diablo 2 challenge runs. I've completed the game using crafted items only. I've completed the game using energy only from level 1. There's a bunch of playthroughs on my YouTube channel. I've beaten Andariel on hardcore at level 1. So if any of those videos interest you, check out my YouTube channel. Alright. Interesting scenario here. So we can get Ort, Ral, Ith. So I need either an Ith, Tal, or Ral to drop. I was setting up my restream today too. Yo, and he's a really cool dude. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Wereduck. You're a cool dude as well. Check out Wereduck as well on YouTube.
You're too late.
Yo, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, Shushlik. Appreciate that. I still need to turn down that Mephisto noise. So depending on what you guys do, Mephisto, Diablo, or Bale pop up for my alert box. It's mostly Mephisto though. Mephisto's like kind of like the tier 1 like alert. Diablo's the tier 2. Bale's a tier 3. This is the look at this Twitch comment. This is the third comment 3 streams about love the way I stream, come watch again, let's play together, Discord. Like, these bots just keep on messaging. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a restricted term. I've got a lot of restricted terms in my Twitch, but I'm gonna put another restricted term for kindly add me on Discord. Nope, you're gonna see right now what I was chasing. Alright. So, we are gonna make Ancient's Pledge in this Targe. So, we'll go Ral, Ort, Tal. So, our smite damage will be less. So, 2 to 6 on a Targe, 5 to 9 on a spiked shield. But our survivability will be way better. And right now, Smite's not doing a whole lot of damage anyway. So look at that. Plus with our Dark Glow that we found, we can hit 80% resist all pretty easily. So I think that's the play. Right now our open wounds from steel is doing more than our actual smite damage. So I think we're just going to rely on smite to do open wounds. And then Ancient's Pledge to not die. Yeah, Malice would be a good rune word as well. That's 100% chance of open wounds. Yes, you can trigger open wounds and crushing blow via Smite. You cannot trigger Deadly Strike. Deadly Strike, you need a melee ability. But Smite can trigger open wounds, as you can see here, like they're bleeding. And you can trigger crushing blow. Yeah, Weird Duck, I thought you knew that, my guy. That's going to change a lot of your strategy, isn't it? So, boss fights are going to be the easiest encounters for a smiter, right? So in normal mode, we're going to use thorns plus open wounds to kill them. Then as soon as we hit like level 30, 35-ish, we can go fanaticism and then use crushing blow gear to kill bosses. So pieces of crushing blow gear that are easy to get in solo self-found would be the strength rune word, which is Amnetir in a melee weapon. The rune word black, which is Nef Thul Io. Yeah, Holy Shield will give extra smite damage as well. And then the third piece of easy crushing blow gear to get is to craft a blood glove. That can get anywhere between 5 and 10% crushing blow. So if we don't find an Amrune or an Io and a Thul, we can craft some blood gloves to get our crushing blow. But either way, act bosses will be the easiest fights in the game for this character. Now the harder fights in the game are going to be in Hell, where we have a lot of ranged opponents. That's going to be a harder fight to be for this character. So in order to negate that, I have a couple ideas. Another annoyance is going to be physical immunes. And how I'm going to combat that is a lot of physical immunes are undead. So the Sanctuary aura actually removes physical immunity from undead. So I will run some Sanctuary. And then to negate things like the souls, don't really have a great way to negate that besides maybe making the ground rune word. Which you need an Io rune for, an Ort rune, and a Shale. That's not the order, but those are the 3 runes. Shashlook says, Holy Shield extra smite damage. Yes, sir. I will be maxing that. Weirduck says, I'm always amazed about how you know that by heart. Yeah, I've played this game way too much. Weirduck, still most damage comes from percent damage boost, so smite self plus any yeah, exactly. Smite in 4-act is not good. Yeah. I mean, smite in general is not going to be a fast playthrough. It's going to be fairly weak. I'm hoping from the Hellforge I get either an Amrune, which is the highest rune you can get normal, or a perfect Ruby, with the best case scenario getting both. Because then I would be able to make 2 pieces of crushing blow so that act bosses are a joke. For those tuning in, if you don't know how crushing blow works, it does 12.5% of the boss's current HP. So if you get a crushing blow hit at 100% health, it drops them down to 87.5. And if you get another crushing blow hit, it would be, 87.5, basically times 87.5 again, or by multiply by 0.875. So it basically just keeps chunking the boss's current HP. So crushing blow isn't very effective when the boss is like below like 25%. because you're just taking like an eighth of, 25. So what I usually do is I have a crushing blow item in my main hand. I get him down to like a quarter health, and then if I have another weapon that I can use to increase my damage, I will switch to that. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like a weaker version of static. Oh, I wanted to craft gear here and couldn't get it to work. How do I actually do it? Here. I will share with you a site page for crafting items. Here you go. So, if you go to that link, scroll to the bottom, and you click on blood items, to make like a crafted glove, you just need magic heavy gloves, a Neph rune, a perfect ruby, and any jewel. And that'll give you the crushing blow affix, 5 to 10%. It'll give you some life leech, which doesn't work with Smite, and it'll give you some life itself, 10 to 20 life. So that is one of the many tools I use for my playthroughs. Usually when I'm doing my playthroughs, stuff that you guys don't see behind the scenes, I'm like using, that website to do crafts. I use loot drop calculators. I use like character build simulators so I can like try and figure out how to min-max what points I have. A good example of that was the playthrough that I could only use energy. I was trying to basically use energy shield with enough telekinesis in it to make it worthwhile, while splitting points between Frozen Orb and Nova, and also Frozen Orb and Hydra at a different part of that playthrough. And you can kind of like estimate DPS on that as well if you pick like a target. They have like a calculator. So you do like, target equals Hell Diablo or something like that. You can kind of tweak your points to figure out, well, if I put 15 here versus 10 here, it equals this damage. But what if I invert that and do 10 here and 15 there? That kind of thing. I'm obviously a nerd, so I like to theory craft, and I like to come up with damage calculators and try and figure shit out. And I would say one of the best rune words in the game. Yeah, it's from Restream. I don't remember how I did it. There was like a YouTube video on it. If I stumble upon it, I'll send it to you. I'll like hit up your Twitch DM or something. Yeah, it was just like, I just watched like a YouTube. That's like how I do a lot of my learning is, find a YouTube video on how to set things up, follow step by step. But yeah, it was from the Restream for sure. It was included. It wasn't like a separate like add-on or anything. Dude, souls tickle now that I have Ancient Pledge. Love it. So I'm thinking I'm going to get ground instead of bulwark for a helm. I think that'll be more beneficial in hell. And then for fire, I'm just gonna pray for maybe Hot Spurs or Inferno Stride. If none of those happen, I can always revert back to using Dark Glow to get 80% fire resist. For me at Diablo, I'm like, Google BIS items for Paladin. Yeah. Thankfully, I've played this game enough that I know every item. You need Lemrune. Why do I need Lemrune? Treachery? Lawbringer? Yeah, either one of those would be a really strong Shashlik. Yeah, Treachery would be great. I would not say no to Treachery. The IAS, the 60 resist all for the level 15 fade. The FHR. It would be very welcomed. On Nightmare Hellforge, I'm usually praying for like a Lem, a Ko, an Yeah, he seems to play here and there. For sure. One of my favorite rune words for solo self-found playthroughs like this is actually the rune word Lionheart. You'll see me farm for that in some of my playthroughs. Because it gives you 20% enhanced damage, so it's good for, you know, melee and, you know, bosons, that kind of thing. Gives you, you know, strength, dex, vitality, energy. Gives you 50 all life on top of all that. It gives you 30 resist all. It just kind of gives you like it's like a Swiss Army knife rune word. It just gives you a little bit of everything. Man, fuck these souls. Oh, I think right there is where I need to go. Let's try and go back. Nope. Alright, where else am I missing? Well, I might as well check out the end of this. I don't think that's where I need to go. No time for play. I don't want to think for stream. Yeah, that's fair. When I started this YouTube channel in January, I did not stream until like a month or two ago, because I didn't want to deal with. Like you said, thinking about anything other than playing the game. But one of my friends who likes my content really wanted me to start streaming. So yeah, you can thank or curse him for me starting to stream. Craft a blood belt. Yeah. But like, I don't know. I don't really need more open wounds. I need more crushing blow at this point for the act bosses. For me, it's an easy thing to do. You record either way. Why not create content as you make content? Yeah, that's true. But sometimes I can't talk though while I'm playing. Alright. Alright, let's figure this out, boys. Here we go. Let's figure this out. So, I came out of Act 3 there. Oh my god. It's right here. I'm an idiot. It's right here. This goes down into the flare jungle. Why didn't I see that earlier? Happens. Listen, I do Dark Souls sometimes. I fight a boss for 2-3 minutes, barely speak or not speak at all. There are moments when you just can't chat. Well, Dark Souls is a little different. Dark Souls is a little different. That game is spicy as hell. This game is much more easy to do both. Although, sometimes you run into some, yeah, I was gonna say, sometimes you run into like some spicy, like, affixed elite packs in hell that you're just like, oh shit. Oh my god, I feel so stupid. It was right here the whole time. I didn't even have to deal with any, Wait, it's not here, though. What is going on with this map? Oh, it's right here. This is the path. Okay. Alright. Let's get over there. Chatterbox going for Diablo is a little bit... What's a chatterbox? What's chatterbox? Oh my god. That elite just like, the item just disappeared into the tree. Did you see that? Can't even loot it. So you just start talking random shit. You just go with the flow. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry, my brain's like super small right now. Tiny brain today. Oh yeah, those playthroughs are super easy to go with the flow. Although, what my best friend was playing with me on ladder reset, and he was playing on like 2 hours of sleep, and he was playing a summon druid, and he stood too close to Frozenstein at half health, and Frozenstein just like nuked him, dude. Just nuked him. Dude, it's not here either. What the hell? Where is it? Oh, it's probably this way. Oh my god. This map's got me more frustrated than Michael J. Fox playing Jenga, dude. Nah, it's not nice to make Parkinson's jokes. I have a dark sense of humor. My apologies. I'm a sick bitch. Oh, God. My wife is used to most of my sense of humor. But the one thing that she doesn't really like understand or get on board is like my dark sense of humor. Like the raunchy side, sure, and like the dad joke side, sure, but like it's the dark humor that she's just like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? She's like, bro, you need Jesus or something. Oh god. I'm like, yeah. I don't know. Alright, well. 20 years later, found it. Jesus. One of the challenges that someone commented on one of my videos was actually an energy only summon druid. I was like, that doesn't sound all that hard. Although maybe it will be, I don't know. He'll definitely have lower health for sure. But the thing with the summon druid is like you can just morph into bear and you can get oak sage. So it's like the health thing isn't a huge issue. Plus you've got like the bear and the wolves to tank for you, so it's not like you're taking much of the hits. I don't know. I haven't gotten around to that request yet. The list that people have suggested of challenges I do is like 25 things long. And I'll never get caught up. It's like impossible. I'd have to quit my job to get caught up. And even then, that might take a while. Alright. I don't really want to be here. Let's keep going. What the hell? So, where duck? Under like future projections for me hitting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, it's predicting like first or second week of December, so it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. We'll see. I mean, either way, my goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. No, my goal is to hit 250 subscribers on YouTube throughout the entire year. And I hit that back in like April or May. So the year goal is already met. Everything else is like house money at this point. Alright. I think the YouTube channel goal is to hit the 1,000 by the end of the year. And then kind of evaluate what the weekly and monthly growth is and come up with a new goal for 2026. If I even decide to keep doing this hobby slash side project. Who knows, in a few months I might get bored of this. It doesn't seem likely, but it's definitely possible. Alright. Let's get this Gidbin. Then we'll be able to upgrade one of our rings. Most likely. It's not guaranteed, but odds are good.
This blade shall pierce
Right.
the heart of evil.
Let's see what our ring is. Let my aim be true. Yeah, lightning and fire. I'll take that all day. That's wonderful. And Nova Windstruck is pretty solid. Light radius is whatever. Attack rating is whatever. It's the same affix. Yeah, I can't even use the Telly Staff till 24 though. But yeah, you're right. Might as well search for one. I gotta keep saving up. I need some money. Might as well keep that. But yeah, I can't even use a Telly Staff if I found one. Yeah. I know. I can use one in a level and a half. Alright. It's always right here. Yeah. I can't wait to 24, honestly. Shush, like, do you mostly play hardcore? Yeah, same. I haven't played softcore in a long time. Dude, once you go hardcore, it's like, it's hard to go back. Like, softcore just doesn't feel satisfying after playing hardcore for years. There's something about, like, knowing that death actually means something. The only exception is like some of the really crazy challenge runs that hardcore just wouldn't be viable for. Like almost impossible. Like some of the ones that like Zarf and the Loot Goblin does. Like the one he just completed with the Wheel of Misfortune. Like that one would be like impossible in hardcore. Oh, what country are you from? I think you can tell by my accent. I'm from the United States. Bulgaria. That's cool. I do not know much about Bulgaria. I will not even pretend to know much about it. I know where it is. There's only one strongman competitor that I know from Bulgaria. Dimitar Saventinov. Alright, let's move on to Chicago? Okay, I know where that is. I've never been there though. Yeah, you're a world traveler. I don't get out much. I've been to like 4 countries, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, besides the United States, I've been to, I think, 4 other countries. Mexico, Belize, Ireland, and Lithuania. Yeah, that's fair. That'll do it. Lots of travel. Well, travel seems cool. I'm sure it's busy travel, but at least you get to see some stuff. Yeah, I've never been to Chicago. I heard it's cold and windy. Even in the United States, I haven't traveled that much. I've been to California, North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. A lot of East Coast. Colorado, Utah. Mostly East Coast states. I live on the East Coast, so. The only non-East Coast states is the Colorado-Utah trip and the California trip that I've done. Nope, it's at the Really should just keep buying this. I'll fix that later. Let's do Lamb Eisen's Tome real quick. I gotta head off soon. This is a short stream. Yeah, could farm super chest. I usually don't farm it in Norm though. I farm it a lot in Nightmare and Hell. Yeah. I don't even need to be in here, really. I need the Ruined Temple. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Hello.
The Thorns is mostly for the act bosses. Yeah, they can't hit me while they're stunned. Yeah, spike shield. Yeah, it does. I have one in my stash. No, you're right. You're right. I was talking about that earlier when I was making Ancient's Pledge. I said I'd be giving up spike damage for some survivability, but then I said mostly it's my thorns or killing stuff anyway, so I didn't care. I'd rather survive.
May the Black Book deliver us from evil.
Alright, this might be a good spot to stop. Maybe I'll do the sewers real quick. Nah, this is a good spot to stop. So next time I jump on, I'll do the sewers, Travincle, Meth, and then probably all of Act 4. Alright, thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks, Word Duck. Thanks, Shushlik. Thanks, DPK, for stopping in the very beginning. I will see you guys another time. Peace.